Hey, friends, and welcome back to Once Upon a Mouse, your go-to Disney podcast. Today, we're doing a deep dive into some of the rules at Disney World that guests might be breaking without even realizing it. Think of it as your cheat sheet to staying on Mickey's good side.
That's right. We've looked closely at some insight. Our goal today is to, go beyond just listing these rules and really explore why they exist and what they actually mean for your park experience.
Okay, let's start with one that seems really innocent. Feeding the animals.
Huh.
Picture this. You're enjoying a tasty park snack, maybe a churro or some popcorn, and a cute little duck or squirrel wanders over, giving you those, pleading eyes.
Yeah.
What's the harm in sharing just a tiny bit?
Well, what's fascinating here is that Disney has a pretty strict policy against feeding any of the wildlife on their property. And this includes, everything from ducks and squirrels to even the birds you see around the outdoor dining areas.
Huh. It feels so natural, though, doesn't it? Like you're being kind or something?
Absolutely, that's the instinct. But if you think about the scale of Disney World, with tens of thousands of guests every single day, even small offerings from lots of people can drastically alter the animals' natural feeding habits and their overall health. Our processed foods just aren't part of their natural diet.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense when you consider the bigger picture. So it's not just about, one person tossing a crumb.
Precisely. Regular feeding can lead to the animals becoming dependent on human handouts. They might stop foraging for their natural food sources, which can have, well, long-term ecological consequences within the park's ecosystem. Plus, as we've probably all witnessed, once animals associate people with food, they can become quite persistent, maybe even a little aggressive in seeking it out.
Oh, definitely. I've seen those squirrels practically climb onto tables trying to snag a snack. It definitely takes away from the relaxed park atmosphere sometimes. So the key takeaway here is resist the urge. No matter how tempting, keep your snacks to yourself. It's actually the kindest thing you can do for the wildlife. Okay, now let's shift gears to something a little more adult.
Indeed. Let's talk about enjoying adult beverages in the parks. Many guests look forward to a refreshing drink, especially in places like Epcot's World Showcase. And you absolutely can purchase and stroll with alcohol in Animal Kingdom, Epcot, and Hollywood Studios, and also at table service restaurants in Magic Kingdom. However, there's a catch when it's time to leave.
Yes. The unspoken rule of finishing your drink before you hit those exit tap styles. The chug at the gate policy.
Exactly. You cannot leave any of the Disney World parks with an open container of alcohol. Security will stop you.
Oh, yeah. I think most of us have had that moment, right? Realizing our drink isn't quite finished as we approach the exit. I vividly remember a close call with a very expensive margarita. Let's just say I became very efficient at consuming it in those last few steps.
Huh? A common experience, I'm sure. And it highlights the importance of being aware of this rule. It likely comes down to licensing regulations and, ensuring responsible consumption beyond the park boundaries.
But the bottom line is enjoy your drinks responsibly while you're in the parks, and well, make sure you finish them before you head out. All right, what's the next rule we might be unknowingly breaking?
Okay, next up is something related to navigating the parks, and it involves respecting designated boundaries, stepping over barriers.
Oh, I can picture now. You're trying to get a slightly better view of a parade or fireworks, and that little rope or taped off area looks so, well, inconsequential.
Right.
It's tempting to just duck under or step over,
It
right?
really can be, yeah. But crossing those marked areas for parades, fireworks viewing, or even within attraction queues is a definite no-no.
And this isn't just about being orderly for the sake of it, is it? There are, real safety implications.
Absolutely. These barriers serve several crucial purposes. First, they help maintain clear pathways for guest flow, preventing bottlenecks, especially in high-traffic areas during peak times. More importantly, these designated zones ensure emergency access. In the event of any unforeseen circumstance, emergency personnel need clear routes to reach any part of the park quickly.
That's a really important point. Easy to forget in the excitement of the moment.
Exactly. And during parades and fireworks, these zones are also there to protect both the performers and the guests. Stepping into those areas could put you in harm's way or disrupt the show for everyone. As the DFB video humorously pointed out, it helps prevent you from being caught in any chaotic situations, like being trampled by ruffians and thugs, maybe.
Right, you don't want to become part of the show in an unplanned and potentially painful way.
And it's not just for the big spectaculars, is it? I've noticed designated standing areas in, the pre-show rooms for rides like Guardians of the Galaxy, Cosmic Rewind, and even in the stretching room at Haunted Mansion.
Precisely. Those lines and markings, even in attraction cues, are there for a reason often related to the mechanics of the show or ride itself. They might be to ensure doors can open and close safely, or to keep guests at a safe distance from moving elements. So, yeah, always pay attention to cast member instructions and any overhead announcements about where to stand.
Okay, this next one was a surprise to me. Wearing Crocs on escalators. I never would have thought that was like a thing to consider.
It's one of those less obvious things, yeah. Many guests might not be aware of it. If you look closely at the escalators in places like Disney Springs, you might see a small symbol advising against wearing certain types of footwear, and Crocs are often included in that category. Really, I see tons of people wearing Crocs at the parks. They seem like perfect Disney footwear, comfortable, easy to clean, all that.
They are popular for those reasons, absolutely. But the concern with Crocs and similar soft, pliable shoes is that they have a higher chance of getting caught in the escalator mechanisms, the teeth.
Oh, that sounds like a real problem. Like, it could cause a major jam.
It can indeed lead to significant disruptions and even require extensive maintenance to free the shoe. There have been instances where this has happened, causing temporary escalator closures. The DFB video even made a funny comparison to those old stories about, like, Cabbage Patch dolls getting their hair caught in things.
Huh. Okay, I remember those urban legends. So while Disney isn't likely to, stop you at the escalator entrance for wearing Crocs, it's definitely something to keep in mind for your own safety.
Exactly. And some schools have even discouraged or banned Crocs because they can be potential tripping hazards too. So while you totally have the freedom to wear them, maybe considering alternative footwear for navigating escalators might be a smart choice.
Good point. For my own park days, I tend to favor more secure shoes. I'm a big fan of trail running shoes for the comfort and stability, the ones with the quick laces. And for water rides or pool days, a good pair of sandals with straps, like Chacos, is always a safe bet. Waterproof and slip-proof.
Good recommendations.
All right, rule number 5. Are we talking about, like, speed limits in the Magic Kingdom?
Huh. Not exactly speed limits for vehicles, no, but rather a general guideline for how we move around, avoiding running through the park.
Oh, yeah. I can definitely see the temptation.
Yeah.
Especially if you're rushing to make a dining reservation or catch a show that's about to start. But I've definitely witnessed some near collisions with people just sprinting through the crowds.
And that's the primary concern, the risk of bumping into other guests, especially little kids or folks with mobility issues, and potentially causing injuries. Plus, when you're running, you're just less aware of your surroundings, right? So it increases the chance of tripping.
Oh yeah, those infamous trolley tracks in Magic Kingdom.
Yeah.
They have a notorious reputation for catching people off guard.
They are definitely a common tripping hazard. So the best approach is just to plan your day as realistically as possible, allow for travel time between attractions, maybe hit that snooze button one less time. A more relaxed pace will make your day much more enjoyable and, frankly, safer for everyone around you.
Agreed. Now let's talk about capturing those magical Disney memories. What's the lowdown on taking photos and videos on rides and during shows?
Generally speaking, the key rule here is to avoid using flash photography on dark rides and during indoor shows. That's a big one.
That makes perfect sense. I've been on rides where someone's flash goes off, and it completely ruins the immersion, doesn't it? Blinds you for a second, ruins the effect.
Precisely. It can detract significantly from the experience for all the other guests around you. And during live performances, sudden flashes can be really distracting and even potentially dangerous for the performers.
Yeah, you don't want to startle someone mid-stunt. So the simple advice is, just double-check your camera or phone settings. Make sure the flash is turned off before you take any photos on attractions.
Absolutely. And maybe on a broader note, while it's wonderful to document your trip, try to also take moments to simply be present and experience the magic without constantly looking through a lens. Sometimes those memories you hold just in your mind are the most vivid.
Wise words. Okay, let's move on to another important aspect of a Disney vacation. Hotel pool time. Are there any rules we should be aware of when it comes to enjoying the resort pools?
Yes, there are guidelines in place regarding what types of toys and items are permitted in the Disney hotel pools. It's all aimed at ensuring the safety and enjoyment of all guests.
Like what specifically? I mean, I always see kids with various floats and toys in the pools.
Well, while some items are allowed, things like snorkels, fins, hard frisbees, those really big inflatable rafts, and squirty toys are generally prohibited. The primary reason is safety. These items can obstruct lifeguards' views, become hazards for other swimmers, or just be disruptive.
That makes sense. You wouldn't want a stray hard frisbee hitting someone unexpectedly in the head. So what kind of pool gear is usually okay then?
Typically, you can bring Coast Guard approved life jackets, small swim rings or arm floaties for children, and soft, small beach balls or water toys that aren't too disruptive. You can always engage in a classic game of Marco Polo.
Ah, I love it. Okay, let's talk about the little Mouseketeers. Are there any specific rules concerning children's behavior or safety in the parks?
Yes, and these are primarily centered around keeping kids safe, obviously. A common rule that's often overlooked is never allowing children to sit or climb on railings, ropes, or chains in queue lines.
Oh, I see that happening quite a bit, yeah.
Yeah.
Kids naturally want to climb and explore everything.
They do, but these barriers, they just aren't designed to support a child's weight and could potentially give way, leading to falls and injuries. Similarly, it's against the rules to have children sitting on your shoulders during parades or fireworks.
Right. I know parents do that so their kids can get a better view, but man, it definitely blocks the sight line for everyone standing behind them. It creates that kind of domino effect of obstructed views.
Exactly. It's both a safety concern for the child, potentially, and a disruption for other guests. If having a great view of the parades or fireworks is a priority, arriving early to secure a good spot is always the best strategy. Alternatively, for the Magic Kingdom fireworks, there are often excellent viewing areas towards the back of the castle that tend to be less crowded. Easier to hold them on your hip there, maybe? And finally, it's important to never allow children to sit on top of trash cans.
That one seems pretty self-explanatory, right? For safety and, well, hygiene reasons.
It does, but you'd be surprised how often it happens, even if, just for a quick moment, cast members will likely ask you to have the child get down.
Okay, now for something near and dear to the hearts of many Disney fans, pin trading. Are there any rules or etiquette we should be aware of?
Absolutely. When you're engaging in pin trading with cast members or on designated pin boards, the main rule is that you should only be trading authentic Disney pins.
Authentic only. What's the difference? I mean, I see pins for sale everywhere, especially online.
Yeah, those non-authentic pins, often referred to as scrappers, are typically lower quality pins. They're mass-produced and sold in bulk by third-party vendors, often on sites like eBay or Amazon. While they might look similar at first glance, they don't meet Disney's quality standards. And while receiving a scrapper maybe isn't the end of the world, you definitely want to avoid unknowingly trading them on the official pin boards. It's just not fair to the next person.
Good to know. So how can you ensure you're trading legitimate pins without having to spend a fortune? Pins can get expensive.
A great way to find affordable, authentic Disney pins is to check the official Disney Store website, shopdisney.com. Also, check the Disney outlet locations like the Character Warehouse shops in the Orlando area. They often have discounted authentic pins available, so you can build your trader collection that way.
That's a really valuable tip. Thanks. Now let's talk about something that has seen some significant changes in recent years at Disney World. Smoking and vaping.
That's right. As of 2019, all designated smoking areas within the Disney World theme parks and water parks were removed completely. Smoking and vaping are now only permitted in specific designated areas located outside of the park entrances and in certain designated areas at Disney Springs and the resort hotels.
Okay, so if you need to smoke or vape, you really can't just do it anywhere on property anymore. You have to find those specific spots.
Correct. To locate the designated smoking areas, you can either ask any cast member for directions, they'll be able to guide you to the nearest one, or you can use the My Disney Experience app. The interactive map feature lets you filter for guest services, and any designated smoking areas will be clearly marked, usually with a little cigarette icon.
Okay, this next one is something I've definitely seen happening at the resorts, and I always wondered if it was actually allowed. Hanging wet towels over hotel balcony railings to dry. What's the official word?
Surprisingly, hanging damp towels over the railings of your Disney World hotel balcony is actually not permitted.
Really? But I see guests doing that all the time. It seems like such a practical way to dry them, especially swimsuits.
It is a common practice, yeah, but it's against the resort guidelines. While Disney doesn't explicitly state the reasoning on their official website, it's likely a combination of factors. Firstly, it probably contributes to maintaining the overall aesthetic, the look of the resorts. With so many balconies visible, rows of drying towels could maybe detract from the immersive theming. Secondly, there might be safety concerns related to towels potentially blowing off the balconies, especially if it gets windy.
That makes sense. You wouldn't want a rogue towel ending up in the pool below or hitting someone walking by. So what are the approved methods for drying wet towels and swimsuits in your hotel room?
Well, many Disney hotel rooms are equipped with a retractable clothesline, usually located in the shower or bathtub area. That's a perfectly acceptable way to dry your swimwear and towels. Plus, you have access to a plentiful supply of fresh, clean towels right in your room. And at the hotel pools, those are all complimentary for resort guests. And if you're spending a day at one of the Disney water parks, towel rentals are also provided free of charge to Disney hotel guests. So, plenty of options.
Plenty of towel drying solutions available then. Good to know. Now, this next rule seems a little ironic, considering some of the merchandise you can actually purchase within the parks,
Yeah.
carrying fake weapons bought outside of Disney.
You've hit on a bit of a seemingly contradictory situation there. Disney's official policy states that objects or toys that appear to be firearms or weapons are not allowed to be brought onto their property from the outside.
Right. But then you step into a gift shop after riding Pirates of the Caribbean, and there are plastic cutlasses galore. And over in Epcot's Japan Pavilion, you can even buy toy katanas.
Exactly. While these items are clearly toys, technically, purchasing one of these within a Disney park could be seen as bringing an item resembling a weapon onto Disney property, according to their broader rule about outside items. It's a bit fuzzy.
That's a bit of a head-scratcher, isn't it? So what's the best course of action for guests who purchase these toy weapons as souvenirs inside the park?
Well, you're unlikely to have your newly purchased toy confiscated right there, especially if it's clearly in a Disney shopping bag with a receipt. But if you're planning on park hopping to another park that same day, it's probably a wise precaution to just keep your receipt handy, easily accessible to show security upon entering the next park. Just to clarify that the item was purchased on Disney property.
Smart thinking, better safe than sorry.
Yeah.
All right, and finally, let's talk about navigating the parks with little ones. The stroller situation. What are the current rules regarding strollers at Disney World?
Okay, so as of 2019, stroller wagons, the ones that resemble wagons, often with pull handles, those have been prohibited from entering the Disney World parks and Disney Springs.
Oh, yes. I remember that policy change. It caused a bit of a stir initially. So what types and sizes of strollers are still permitted?
Regular single or double strollers are allowed as long as they do not exceed 31 inches in width and 52 inches in length. This rule was implemented primarily to help alleviate congestion on pathways and in crowded areas, keep things moving.
Right. And if a guest arrives with a stroller that doesn't meet those size requirements, or maybe they decided not to bring one, what are their options?
Disney offers stroller rentals within all 4 theme parks and at Disney Springs. They have both single and double stroller options available. You can rent them daily or for your entire length of stay at a slightly reduced rate. However, it's really important to note that these rental strollers must remain within the park or Disney Springs where they were rented. You can't take them back to your hotel room.
Good point. So being aware of these sometimes overlooked rules can really contribute to a smoother, safer, and just more enjoyable Disney World vacation for everyone, right?
Yes.
And hopefully keep you in Mickey's good graces.
Absolutely. It's all about understanding the why behind these guidelines. They're ultimately in place to enhance the overall guest experience and ensure a safe environment for everyone.
Thanks for tuning in to Once Upon a Mouse. If you love all things Disney, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe for more magical content, and click the bell so you never miss an episode. See you real soon.